Welcome aboard, friends. You're now tuned into Scion What Ifs. We're super excited to share today's story with you. What if Goku was summoned to the One Piece world? If you enjoy what we do here, the best way to support us is by liking, commenting, and subscribing. We read every comment. Ready? Let's go. Chapter 1, Dimensional Disruption. Goku's body hurtled through blinding light, every cell in his body screaming as the fabric of reality tore around him. 1 second he'd been locked in combat with a god-level threat, the next, ripped from his universe entirely. What the? Goku gasped as consciousness returned. He crashed hard against wooden planks that splintered beneath him. The impact sent him bouncing across what looked like the deck of a massive floating island. No, not an island, a skull-shaped fortress hovering above actual land. Pain shot through his body. Something was wrong. Goku tried gathering ki, but it felt slippery, like trying to hold water in cupped hands. His power level had plummeted. Hey! Who the hell are you? A beast-like man with horns pointed a sword at Goku's face. Before Goku could answer, screams erupted from all directions. He'd landed in the middle of what could only be described as all-out war. Hundreds of fighters clashed across the skull-shaped structure. People with animal features battled against a wildly diverse group of humans wielding bizarre abilities. A man stretched his arm impossibly long. Another transformed into flames. Someone else summoned what looked like dinosaur parts from their body. This is definitely not Earth, Goku muttered, staggering to his feet. His orange GI was torn, and his normally spiky hair drooped with exhaustion. And I'm definitely not at full power. The horned man lunged at him. Even in his weakened state, Goku's combat instincts kicked in. He sidestepped the blade and delivered a palm strike that sent the attacker flying into a wall. Whoa! Goku flexed his hand. Still got some juice left. A massive explosion rocked the floating skull from the level below. Through the newly created hole, Goku spotted a young man in a straw hat trading blows with a much larger opponent. The kid's fists blackened before stretching to impossible lengths, each impact creating shockwaves that Goku could feel from where he stood. That's not ki, but it's definitely power, Goku murmured, his fighter's instinct instantly analyzing this strange new energy. More beastmen surrounded Goku, their weapons drawn. Another one of Straw Hat's allies? Doesn't matter, you picked the wrong fortress to invade, one snarled. Goku raised his hands. Look, I don't know what's happening, but I'm not involved in your fight. A club swung toward his head. Goku ducked, then swept the attacker's legs. As two more charged, Goku leapt into the air, surprised to find he could still manipulate his ki enough for enhanced jumps, if not flight. You guys really don't want to do this, Goku called down. I'm just trying to figure out where I am. You're in Onigashima, fool, shouted a beastman with tusks. Lord Kaido's fortress. And you're about to be a stain on it. A net suddenly wrapped around Goku midair. Whatever it was made of, it drained his energy further, causing him to crash back to the deck. 6 beastmen pounced. Fighting defensively, Goku broke free and delivered precise strikes, holding back enough not to kill, but ensuring his attackers wouldn't get up quickly. Each movement felt sluggish compared to his normal speed, but he was still faster than anyone attacking him. The clash below intensified. The Straw Hat Kid shouted something about becoming the Pirate King as he landed a devastating blow on his massive opponent. The entire fortress trembled. Pirates? Goku questioned, momentarily distracted. That distraction cost him. Something sharp pierced his shoulder from behind. Goku spun to find a woman with snake-like features grinning at him, her elongated fangs dripping with what had to be poison. Got you, she hissed. One bite from me, and you'll be paralyzed in seconds. Goku felt the venom burning through his veins. Normally, his ki would have neutralized such an attack instantly, but in this weakened state, he felt his limbs growing heavy. Not good. He grunted, dropping to one knee. The snake woman advanced, but before she could strike again, a swirling air current cut between them. A tall woman with black hair landed gracefully beside Goku, arms crossed in an X formation. "Dos fleur," she called, and suddenly arms sprouted from the snake woman's shoulders, wrenching her head backward. "A straw hat," the snake woman hissed before being rendered unconscious by her own arms. The black-haired woman turned to Goku. "You don't appear to be one of Kaido's men. Are you another samurai?" "I'm Goku," he managed through gritted teeth, fighting the paralysis. "And I have no idea who Kaido is or what samurai you're talking about." Her eyes narrowed with analytical precision. "Interesting. You fell from that spatial anomaly we witnessed." "Robin." A voice called from nearby. A man with a long nose and a young man who appeared to be half reindeer rushed over. "We need to regroup with Luffy." Kaido's regained consciousness. The reindeer boy noticed Goku's condition. "He's been poisoned." "Chopper, we don't know if he's," the long-nosed man started. "He's not an enemy, Usopp," Robin stated. "And he's clearly not from our world." Chopper transformed into a more human-like form and quickly examined Goku. "This is Viper Toxin. I have an antidote, but," a tremendous crash interrupted them as a section of wall exploded outward. Through the dust emerged a young man with a straw hat, his clothes torn and body battered. Despite his injuries, he wore a determined grin. "Luffy!" Chopper called. "You guys okay?" Luffy asked, then spotted Goku. "Who's this?" "No time to explain," Robin replied. "The mysterious visitor is poisoned." Luffy approached Goku with straightforward curiosity. "Hey! I'm Monkey D. Luffy, the man who's gonna be king of the pirates." Even through the growing paralysis, Goku couldn't help but smile at the kid's direct approach. Something about his energy and confidence reminded him of himself. "Son Goku," he managed. "I'm not from around here." "No kidding. You fell out of that weird light thing." Luffy laughed. "Pretty cool entrance." A deafening roar shook the fortress. Through the hole Luffy had created, Goku glimpsed an enormous dragon rising into the air. "Kaido's coming back," Usopp trembled. "Let him come," Luffy cracked his knuckles. "I'm not done with him yet." Chopper administered an injection to Goku's arm. Almost immediately, warmth spread through his veins, fighting back the paralysis. "That should counteract the toxin," Chopper explained. "But you need rest to fully recover." Goku flexed his fingers as sensation returned. "Thanks, but rest isn't really an option right now, is it?" The entire fortress shuddered as the dragon, apparently Kaido, circled overhead. Orders were being shouted throughout the complex as more beastmen rallied. "Luffy, we should move," Robin advised. "We're exposed here." "Yeah," Luffy nodded, then turned to Goku. "You coming with us, mystery man?" Before Goku could answer, a mountain of a man landed on the deck before them, creating a crater with his impact. Standing nearly 12 feet tall with mammoth tusks protruding from his mouth, he glared at them with undisguised hatred. "Jack!" Chopper gasped. "Straw Hat Pirates," Jack growled. "You've caused enough trouble. And you," he pointed at Goku, "I saw your fighting style. You're not from Wano, and you're not a devil fruit user. Lord Kaido will want to know what you are." Luffy stepped forward, but Goku placed a hand on his shoulder. "Thanks for the help with the poison," Goku said, his voice stronger now. "But I can handle this guy." "But you're injured." Chopper protested. Goku rolled his shoulders, feeling his ki responding better now that the poison was being neutralized. "Maybe. But I still need to test what I can do in this world." Jack laughed. "You think you can face a beast pirate all-star? I have a bounty of 1 billion berries." Goku had no idea what berries meant in terms of power, but the confidence radiating from Jack told him this was someone who rarely lost fights. "Perfect. I don't know much about this world," Goku said, dropping into his fighting stance. But where I come from, I've faced gods. Let's see how you compare. Jack charged, moving with surprising speed for his size. Goku waited until the last possible moment before dodging, analyzing his opponent's movement. The Mammoth Man's fist crashed into the deck where Goku had stood, leaving a splintered crater. Strong, but slow, Goku assessed aloud. Jack whirled with unexpected agility, producing a massive blade. I'm just getting started. The blade whistled through the air. Goku raised his forearm, focusing what ki he could gather into a defensive barrier. The blade struck his arm, and stopped. The impact sent vibrations through Goku's body, but his skin remained uncut. What? Jack's eyes widened. Goku grinned. My turn. He launched forward, delivering a series of rapid punches to Jack's midsection. Each impact produced a shockwave that cracked the deck beneath them. Jack stumbled backward, blood trickling from his mouth. Whoa! Luffy exclaimed. He's strong. That fighting style. Robin observed. It's unlike anything I've seen in the Grand Line. Jack roared in fury, his body beginning to transform. Fur sprouted across his skin as he grew even larger, taking on a hybrid form between human and mammoth. Ancient Zoan users are incredibly resilient, Chopper explained nervously. Jack can fight for days without stopping. Sounds fun, Goku replied, feeling more of his strength returning as he fought. Combat had always centered him, and this was no different, even in a strange new world. Jack charged again, this time with the full momentum of his mammoth form. Goku gathered ki into his palm, a fraction of what he'd normally command, but enough. As Jack closed in, Goku thrust his hand forward. Ha! A blast of energy erupted from his palm, striking Jack square in the chest. The Mammoth Man flew backward, crashing through multiple walls before coming to rest 50 yards away, unconscious and reverted to human form. The entire deck went silent. Even the ongoing battles paused momentarily as everyone stared at Goku. That wasn't even a Kamehameha, Goku mused, looking at his palm. Barely a ki blast. I'm definitely not at full strength. Luffy bounded over, eyes shining with excitement. That was awesome. What kind of devil fruit gives you powers like that? Devil fruit? Goku questioned. Mystical fruits that grant powers when eaten, Robin explained, studying Goku with intense curiosity. But your abilities don't seem to match any known devil fruit. That's 'cause I don't have one, Goku replied. Where I come from, this is ki manipulation. Everyone has ki, but not everyone learns to use it. Ki. Robin repeated thoughtfully. Another massive tremor shook the fortress. The dragon that was apparently Kaido had landed on another part of the structure. We need to move, Luffy decided. Mystery energy guy, you're with us now. It's Goku, he corrected with a laugh. And sure, I'll tag along until I figure out what's going on. Great. I'm gonna beat Kaido, and then we can eat and you can tell us about your mystery energy. Luffy grinned as if this were the most natural plan in the world. Despite the chaos, danger, and dimensional displacement, Goku found himself smiling. There was something refreshingly straightforward about this straw hat-wearing kid. Sounds like a plan, Goku agreed. But first, maybe you can catch me up on what exactly is happening here. As they moved deeper into the fortress, dodging battles and beast pirate forces, Robin provided a concise explanation of Wano, Kaido's tyranny, and the alliance formed to overthrow him. So you're fighting to free this country? Goku asked. Yup. Luffy confirmed. Old Man Hyogoro and the samurai have suffered enough. We're gonna kick Kaido's ass. The simplicity of the goal resonated with Goku. These weren't fighters seeking power for its own sake, they were fighting to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. They descended to a lower level where more of Luffy's crew had gathered. A green-haired swordsman with one eye, a blonde man in a suit, a skeleton with an afro, a cyborg with massive arms, and a red-haired woman greeted them. Luffy. We've secured the swordsman stopped mid-sentence, his hand moving to his swords as he spotted Goku. Who's this? This is Goku. He fell from the sky and beat up Jack with a light blast from his hands. Luffy announced excitedly. He what? The blonde man looked skeptical. I witnessed it, Robin confirmed. He possesses energy manipulation abilities unlike anything we've encountered. The swordsman studied Goku with his one intense eye. You don't have the aura of a swordsman, but you're definitely a fighter. Zoro's got the best instincts, Luffy said to Goku. That's Zoro, Sanji, Brook, Frankie, and Nami, he pointed to each crew member in turn. Yo ho ho ho. A visitor from another world. The skeleton laughed. How bone-chilling. The skeleton talks, Goku observed with mild surprise. Not the strangest thing I've seen, honestly. We can exchange pleasantries later, Nami interrupted. Kaido's commanders are regrouping, and Queen is heading this way. Let him come, Zoro said, tying his bandana around his head. Goku's not at full strength, Chopper informed them. He was poisoned, and he says he's weakened from whatever brought him here. Weakened and still took down Jack. Frankie whistled. Super impressive. A new explosion rocked the fortress. From above, a voice boomed through what seemed to be some kind of broadcasting system. Attention all beast pirates. The strange energy signature that appeared on our radar was a being with immense power. Capture this entity alive, Queen's orders. Looks like you've been noticed, Sanji remarked, lighting a cigarette. Goku felt his energy continuing to stabilize. While nowhere near his Super Saiyan capabilities, he was regaining enough strength to be useful in this fight. They want to capture me, huh? Goku cracked his knuckles. Wouldn't be the first time someone's tried. Luffy slapped him on the back. Then you're definitely with us. Anyone Kaido wants is our friend. The straightforward acceptance reminded Goku of simpler times, before godhood and universal threats. There was something refreshing about it. Queen is approaching from the western corridor, Robin reported, an extra eye blinking into existence on the wall before disappearing. Along with at least 30 gifters. What's the plan, Luffy? Nami asked. Luffy punched his fists together. We stick to the plan. Zoro, Sanji, and I will handle Kaido. Everyone else, secure the road poneglyph and protect the samurai allies. What about your new friend? Zoro nodded toward Goku. Before Luffy could answer, the wall beside them exploded inward. Through the dust emerged a massive round man with mechanical arms and a head shaped vaguely like a brachiosaurus. There you are, Queen grinned maliciously. The mysterious energy wielder and the Straw Hat crew. How convenient. Behind him poured dozens of beast pirates, weapons drawn. I'll handle this, Goku stepped forward, rolling his shoulders. You guys have your mission, right? Luffy looked between Queen and Goku, clearly torn between his goal and helping his new ally. Go, Goku insisted. I may not be at full power, but I can handle these guys. Luffy's expression hardened into determination. All right. Kick his ass and catch up with us. Just like that? Nami protested. We're leaving him alone. He'll be fine, Luffy grinned. I can tell. Zoro studied Goku one last time. Don't die, stranger. Luffy's already decided you're joining our crew. I never said, Goku started. That's how it always goes, Sanji shrugged. Better get used to it. The Straw Hat crew moved out, with Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji heading toward the roof where Kaido awaited, while the others took a different route toward their objective. Queen laughed as they departed. Brave or foolish? Either way, you're coming with me to the laboratory. Lord Kaido will want to understand your powers. Goku settled into his fighting stance. I'm not going to any laboratory. But I am curious about something, this Kaido guy, is he strong? Queen's face contorted with indignation. Lord Kaido is the strongest creature alive. The man who cannot be killed. Cannot be killed, huh? Goku felt a familiar excitement building, the thrill of potentially facing a worthy opponent. Sounds interesting. You won't live long enough to find out. Queen charged, his mechanical arms whirring. Goku dodged the first strike, feeling the air pressure as Queen's fist demolished the floor where he'd stood. The beast pirates surrounded them, creating a battle circle. Your bounty will make a fine addition to my collection, Queen boasted, his body beginning to transform. Scales erupted across his skin as his neck elongated, his form shifting into a Brachiosaurus hybrid. Another dinosaur guy, Goku observed. This world is wild. Queen's tail whipped toward him with devastating force. Goku caught it with both hands, the impact sliding him back several feet. Gritting his teeth, he planted his stance and, with a surge of ki, swung the massive dinosaur man into a wall. What? Queen sputtered, extracting himself from the rubble. Impossible. I weigh over 20 tons in this form. Goku flexed his arms. I've thrown around guys a lot heavier than that. Queen's mechanical arms reconfigured, revealing gun barrels. Let's see how you handle this. Queen's poison rounds. Bullets sprayed toward Goku. He focused his energy and moved at his highest available speed, becoming a blur as he dodged between the projectiles. Several grazed him, leaving burning sensations where the poison touched his skin. Still not at full power, Goku muttered, feeling the toxin trying to take effect. His Saiyan physiology was fighting it off, but it was slowing him down. Queen charged again, this time extending his mechanical neck in a surprise attack. The headbutt caught Goku in the chest, sending him crashing through a support pillar. Not so confident now. Queen taunted. Goku emerged from the rubble, dusting himself off. Actually, that was a good hit. You're pretty strong. Queen paused, momentarily confused by the compliment. Goku took advantage of the hesitation. Gathering ki into both hands, he formed small energy spheres. Let's try something new. I can't waste too much energy, but this should work. He flung the energy balls in rapid succession. Queen dodged the first few, but they suddenly changed direction mid-air, homing in on their target. The explosions rocked Queen's massive form, each blast more powerful than the last as Goku found his rhythm. What kind of devil fruit is this? Queen roared in frustration. I told you, it's not a devil fruit, Goku replied, closing the distance between them. It's ki. Life energy. And everyone has it, even you. He struck Queen with an open palm to the chest, but this time, instead of raw force, Goku sent a pulse of ki directly into Queen's body. The dinosaur man's eyes widened as the energy disrupted his own internal flow, momentarily paralyzing him. What, did you? Queen gasped. I disrupted your energy flow, Goku explained. It's temporary, but it should give us time to talk. I don't want to fight you if I don't have to. Queen's expression shifted from pain to calculating interest. Fascinating. A non-devil fruit power that can be used both externally and internally. Lord Kaido must study this. I'm not interested in being studied, Goku replied firmly. I just want to figure out how I got here and how to get back home. I've got family waiting. The beast pirates surrounding them had backed away, clearly unsettled by Goku's abilities. Queen's paralysis was wearing off, his mechanical components whirring back to life. I'm not giving you a choice, Queen stated coldly. Backup protocol initiated. A high-pitched sound emitted from Queen's body. Goku winced, covering his ears. The frequency seemed designed to disorient, but it was having an unexpected effect on Goku's already destabilized ki, making it even harder to control. What is this? Goku demanded, dropping to one knee as his energy fluctuated wildly. Sound waves calibrated to disrupt devil fruit users, Queen explained with a smirk. Seems they work on your ki as well. How convenient. Beast pirates moved in with nets and chains made of what appeared to be the same material that had drained Goku's energy earlier. Sea stone, Queen explained, seeing Goku's confusion. Negates devil fruit powers. Let's see if it works on you too. The chains wrapped around Goku's arms. Immediately, he felt his strength draining away. Whatever this sea stone was, it didn't just block his access to ki, it seemed to siphon it. Interesting reaction, Queen observed clinically. Not identical to a devil fruit user, but similar enough. You're coming to the lab now. Goku struggled against the chains, but the combination of the sonic disruption and the sea stone was proving effective. Queen approached, mechanical arm reconfigured into what looked like a surgical saw. Just need a tissue sample for now, he grinned. Goku closed his eyes, focusing inward. If this world's methods could disrupt his ki, perhaps he needed to adapt. Instead of pushing outward with his energy as he normally would, he drew it tighter, condensing it into his core. What are you doing? Queen demanded, noticing the change. Goku didn't answer. The sea stone chains continued to drain his outer energy, but they couldn't reach the dense ball of ki he was forming within. It was like creating a spirit bomb in reverse, pulling energy inward instead of gathering it from surroundings. Whatever you're planning, it won't, Goku's eyes snapped open. With a primal shout, he released the compressed ki in a controlled explosion that shattered the sea stone chains and sent Queen and the beast pirates flying backward. The sonic emitter on Queen's body cracked, its frequency distorting before dying completely. Goku rose to his feet, his GI tattered but his stance strong. That was clever, Goku acknowledged. Using sound waves and those weird chains. But energy is energy, no matter what world you're in. It can always be controlled. Queen staggered up, his dinosaur form damaged but still functional. You continue to surprise, stranger. All the more reason to dissect you. Before Queen could attack again, the entire fortress shuddered violently. From above, a tremendous roar echoed throughout Onigashima, followed by what sounded like Luffy's voice shouting in triumph. Sounds like your boss might be in trouble, Goku commented. Queen's expression darkened. Impossible. Lord Kaido cannot be defeated. The ceiling suddenly collapsed between them as someone, crashed through multiple floors. The dust cleared to reveal Jack, battered and unconscious, lying in a crater. Jack. Queen gasped. Who could have? Standing atop the fallen commander was a figure Goku recognized, the green-haired swordsman, Zoro. Blood streaked his face, but he wore a fierce grin. There you are, Zoro said, spotting Goku. Luffy sent me to find you. Said something about wanting to see you and Kaido fight. The battle's reached that stage already? Queen demanded. Zoro fixed him with a cold stare. Kaido's in human form now. Big Mom's retreated to defend her territory. And Luffy's getting serious. Impossible. Queen roared. Believe it, Zoro replied, then turned to Goku. You coming? Luffy's holding back the final blow. Says he wants to see what you can do against the strongest creature in the world. Goku couldn't help but grin. Even in this strange world, some things remained consistent, like the thrill of testing himself against the best. Lead the way, Goku nodded. Queen moved to intercept them, but Zoro drew his black blade, infusing it with what Goku recognized as a form of energy not unlike ki, though differently channeled. Try it, Zoro challenged. I've been looking for an excuse to test my new technique. Queen hesitated, then backed down. This isn't over. Lord Kaido will not fall today. Zoro snorted dismissively before leading Goku through the fortress, navigating the ongoing battles between samurai and beast pirates. So, Zoro said as they climbed toward the roof. Robin says you're from another world. Another dimension, I think, Goku confirmed. I was fighting a pretty tough opponent when something tore in space. Next thing I know, I'm here, with most of my power gone. Most? Zoro raised an eyebrow. You took down Jack and fought Queen to a standstill with most of your power gone. Goku laughed sheepishly, rubbing the back of his head. Well, yeah. Where I come from, I can transform to increase my power many times over. Right now, I can barely access my base form strength. Zoro studied him with newfound interest. I'd like to see that someday. A warrior should always seek stronger opponents. Couldn't agree more, Goku nodded. They emerged onto the roof of Onigashima, where an incredible battle was unfolding. Luffy, his body transformed into what looked like rubber coated in black armor, traded earth-shattering blows with a massive man wielding an equally massive club. Each impact created shockwaves that threatened to tear the floating island apart. That's Kaido? Goku asked, immediately analyzing the opponent's form and movement. Yeah, Zoro confirmed. Emperor of the Sea. They say if it's one-on-one, Kaido always wins. Goku watched Kaido's movements, noting the raw power behind each swing, the speed belied by his enormous frame, and the battle-hardened precision of someone who had fought countless times. Not always, Goku said quietly, a familiar excitement building within him. Luffy spotted them and, incredibly, disengaged from Kaido to bounce over. You made it, he grinned, despite blood streaming down his face. I wanted you to fight him too. You stopped in the middle of a fight with him? Goku asked incredulously. Sure. You beat Jack with that cool light blast thing. I wanna see what you can do against Kaido. Kaido, breathing heavily but looking more annoyed than damaged, focused on Goku. So you're the anomaly Queen reported, Kaido's voice rumbled like distant thunder. The one who fell from the tear in the sky. Goku stepped forward. I am. The name's Son Goku. He beat Jack with energy attacks, Luffy informed Kaido helpfully. Isn't that cool? Kaido's eyes narrowed. Jack is a child compared to me. Probably, Goku acknowledged. But I'm still not at full strength. This world, it's affecting my power somehow. A dangerous grin spread across Kaido's face. Then we are alike in that, stranger. I haven't been pushed to my limits in decades. Luffy bounced on the balls of his feet. So. Wanna fight him? Goku couldn't help but laugh at Luffy's enthusiasm. It reminded him so much of himself when younger, that pure love of testing limits against powerful opponents. Sure, Goku agreed, settling into his fighting stance. But if we're doing this, let's make it quick. Your crew's still fighting below, and I'm guessing they could use your help more than you need to watch me fight. Luffy's expression sobered slightly. You're right. Make it quick then, show me your best move. Kaido hefted his club. You think you can end this quickly? Countless armies have tried to defeat me. Goku took a deep breath, centering himself. His ki was responding better now, perhaps adapting to this world's different energy flow. He could feel about 30% of his normal power available, still a fraction of his capabilities, but enough. One attack, Goku declared. That's all I need. Bold words, Kaido growled, thunder clouds gathering above him as his body crackled with electricity. Come then, anomaly. Show me this power that frightens Queen. Goku widened his stance, cupping his hands at his side. Blue energy began to glow between his palms. Me. What's this? Kaido's eyes narrowed. Me. The energy built, swirling and condensing between Goku's hands. Even at 30% power, the Kamehameha would be formidable. Goku focused, remembering all Master Roshi had taught him about controlling the beam's direction and intensity. Kaido roared, charging forward with his club raised high. Lightning struck him, empowering his weapon as he swung down toward Goku with all his might. HAA. Goku thrust his hands forward, releasing the concentrated beam of energy directly at Kaido. Blue light engulfed the Emperor of the Sea, stopping his advance instantly. For a moment, Kaido's silhouette was visible within the beam, his club raised in defiance as he tried to push through the energy wave. Then the beam intensified, and Kaido disappeared within the light. The Kamehameha continued upward, parting the storm clouds above Onigashima before dissipating high in the atmosphere. As the light faded, Kaido stood frozen in place, his club half-raised, his body smoking. Then, slowly, he toppled backward, crashing onto the roof with an impact that shook the entire fortress. Silence fell across the battlefield. Luffy's jaw had dropped comically. Zoro stared with his one eye widened in shock. That was amazing! Luffy finally exclaimed, bouncing around Goku. What do you call that attack? The blue beam thing. Kamehameha, Goku replied, breathing heavily from the exertion. It's one of the first techniques I learned. One of the first. Luffy's eyes shone with excitement. What else can you do? Before Goku could answer, a rumbling laugh emerged from Kaido's prone form. The Emperor sat up slowly, a burn mark stretching across his chest in the shape of the energy beam's path. Interesting, Kaido grinned, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Very interesting indeed. Goku tensed, ready to fight again, but he could feel his energy depleted from the Kamehameha. In this world, without his full power, he couldn't maintain high output attacks for long. Kaido rose to his feet, staggering slightly. In 800 years, only Joy Boy ever managed to knock me down with a single blow. His eyes fixed on Goku with newfound respect. Until today. You're still conscious, Goku observed. Pretty impressive. That Kamehameha would have vaporized most opponents. I am Kaido, the strongest creature, he replied simply, as if that explained everything. Luffy stepped forward. We're not done yet, Kaido. Wano will be free today. Kaido assessed the situation, his commanders defeated, his army in disarray, and now facing not just the increasingly powerful Straw Hat, but this new warrior with abilities beyond anything in the known world. Perhaps, Kaido conceded, this battle has become interesting enough to continue elsewhere. With surprising speed, Kaido transformed into his dragon form, the burn mark still visible on his scales. Before anyone could react, he shot skyward. He's retreating? Zoro questioned incredulously. No, Goku realized, tracking Kaido's movement. He's heading toward the mainland. Toward the capital city you mentioned. Luffy's expression hardened. He's going to threaten the citizens. Make us choose between fighting him and protecting them. Standard tyrant playbook, Goku nodded grimly. I've seen it before. Luffy turned to Zoro. Get everyone off Onigashima. I'm going after Kaido. I'll come with you, Goku offered. I may not have much energy left for attacks, but I can still fight. Luffy studied Goku for a moment, then broke into a wide grin. You're a good guy, Mystery Energy Man. He extended his fist for a bump. Goku returned the gesture with a smile. Just Goku is fine. Just Goku, Luffy nodded. Let's go kick Kaido's ass for real this time. As they prepared to pursue Kaido, Goku found himself reflecting on the strange turn his day had taken. Transported to another world, weakened but not defeated, and now allied with pirates to save a nation from tyranny. It wasn't the strangest situation he'd ever found himself in, but it was certainly up there. Hey, Luffy, Goku asked as they moved to the edge of the floating island, after we deal with Kaido, you got any food on your ship? Fighting across dimensions really works up an appetite. Luffy's laughter echoed across the battlefield. I like you already, just Goku. We're definitely gonna be friends. As they leapt from Onigashima to pursue Kaido, Goku felt something he hadn't expected in this strange new world, a sense of belonging. These pirates fought for freedom and protected the innocent, not unlike the Z fighters back home. Maybe being stranded here for a while wouldn't be so bad after all. The battle for Wano was just beginning, and Son Goku was right where he always thrived, at the heart of the action, facing impossible odds with a smile on his face and new allies at his side. Chapter 2, New World, New Powers. The capital of Wano erupted in chaos as Kaido's dragon form descended from the sky. Citizens screamed and scattered while samurai rushed forward, swords drawn in hopeless defiance against the emperor. "Everyone get back!" Luffy shouted as he and Goku landed in the city center. The impact cracked stone beneath their feet. Goku assessed the situation quickly. He's using the civilians as shields. Classic move for someone who knows they're outmatched. "Kaido doesn't think anyone can match him," Luffy replied, cracking his knuckles. "That's his problem." The massive dragon hovered above the city, his voice booming across the landscape. "Citizens of Wano, witness the futility of resistance." His massive jaws opened, gathering blue energy that blazed with destructive potential. "He's going to fire," a samurai screamed. Luffy's body shifted, muscles expanding as he blew air into his arm. "Gum gum calm gun." As Luffy prepared his attack, Goku stepped forward. Despite his depleted energy reserves, he couldn't stand by while innocent people were threatened. He focused what ki he could muster and raised both hands. Ki. An invisible wave of force shot upward, striking Kaido's jaw and disrupting his aim. The dragon's blast fired harmlessly into the sky, dissipating among the clouds. Kaido's massive head swiveled toward Goku, rage blazing in his eyes. "You." "Yeah, me," Goku replied with a grin. "Not so easy when someone can counter your attacks, is it?" The dragon descended, transforming midair back into his human form. Kaido landed with earth-shaking force, the burn mark from Goku's Kamehameha still prominent across his chest. "You're not from this world," Kaido stated flatly. Queen's readings confirmed it. "The energy you manipulate exists outside the known parameters of devil fruits or haki." "That's right," Goku confirmed, settling into his fighting stance. "And where I come from, guys like you are pretty common. Tyrants who think strength gives them the right to rule." Kaido's laugh rumbled like thunder. "And what happens to these tyrants in your world?" Goku's expression hardened. "They meet me." Citizens had gathered at a safe distance, watching in awe as the strange man in the tattered orange gi faced Kaido without fear. Among them, Goku noticed Zoro and other Straw Hat members arriving, positioning themselves to protect the civilians. "Luffy!" Nami called. "The samurai are evacuating the eastern district." "Good!" Luffy shouted back, never taking his eyes off Kaido. Goku felt a twinge of admiration for these pirates. They operated with the seamless coordination of people who trusted each other completely, not unlike the Z fighters. Kaido raised his club, thunder clouds gathering above. "Enough talking. You had your moment, Anomaly. It won't happen again." "Maybe not," Goku acknowledged. "I used a lot of energy in that last attack. But I'm not alone here." Luffy stepped up beside him, his body shifting into what he called Gear Fourth, muscles bulging and covered in that strange black armor. 2-on-1. "Dishonorable," Kaido sneered. "Says the guy who was about to blast a city full of innocent people," Goku replied dryly. Kaido charged, his club swinging in a horizontal arc designed to catch both fighters. Goku and Luffy leapt in perfect sync, as if they'd fought together for years rather than minutes. "Python!" Luffy shouted, his rubbery arm stretching and snaking around to strike Kaido from behind. Simultaneously, Goku dropped from above, driving both feet into Kaido's shoulders. The Emperor staggered but remained upright, pivoting with surprising speed to swing his club at Goku. Unable to gather enough ki to block properly, Goku took the hit directly. The impact sent him crashing through several buildings. "Goku!" Luffy shouted, distracted just long enough for Kaido to land a devastating blow that sent the rubber man flying in the opposite direction. Goku pushed debris off himself, wincing as he stood. Without his normal power level, he felt every hit. This was going to be more challenging than he'd anticipated. I need to adjust my fighting style, he muttered, watching as Kaido advanced toward him. Can't rely on raw power if I don't have it. An idea struck him. If this world operated on different energy principles, perhaps he could adapt. He'd been forcing his ki to work the way it did in his world, but what if he tried something new? Kaido closed the distance, club raised for a finishing blow. Die, anomaly. Instead of dodging, Goku stood his ground and closed his eyes. He extended his senses, feeling the strange energies of this world flowing around him. There was something else here, not ki exactly, but similar. It radiated from Luffy and his crew, from the samurai, and even from Kaido himself. Haki, Goku whispered, remembering the term he'd heard earlier. As Kaido's club descended, Goku opened his eyes and raised one arm. Instead of channeling ki outward, he drew this new energy, this haki, inward, coating his arm with it instinctively. The club struck his forearm with mountain-shattering force. Goku's feet sank inches into the stone beneath him, but he held firm. The black coating on his arm, identical to what he'd seen on Luffy and Zoro, shimmered with power. Kaido's eyes widened in shock. Armament haki? Impossible. You couldn't have learned. Goku didn't wait for him to finish. With his free hand, he struck Kaido's chest directly on the burn mark from earlier. This time, he channeled both ki and this new haki energy together. The combined force sent Kaido flying backward through a row of buildings. What was that? Goku flexed his hand, watching as the black coating faded. It's like ki, but external. Drawn from around me rather than from within. You used haki. Luffy exclaimed, bouncing back into the fight with renewed vigor. That's so cool. It took me years to learn that. I just felt it, Goku explained, still surprised himself. It's similar to ki in some ways, but different in others. No time for further analysis, Kaido emerged from the rubble, his expression a mixture of rage and grudging respect. First the energy beam, now armament haki without training, he growled. What are you? Goku grinned. I'm a scion, raised on Earth. And I'm a fast learner. The battle resumed with increased intensity. Kaido unleashed techniques that would have leveled mountains, while Luffy countered with his own extraordinary abilities. Goku, adapting moment by moment, blended his depleted ki reserves with newly discovered haki applications. As they fought, Goku noticed something else, his energy was slowly replenishing. Not to his full power, not even close, but the longer he stayed in this world, the more his body seemed to adjust to its different energy flow. The three warriors clashed repeatedly across the capital, their battle reducing sections of the city to rubble despite their efforts to minimize civilian casualties. The Straw Hat crew and samurai worked tirelessly to evacuate citizens from the combat zone. After nearly an hour of devastating exchanges, all three combatants showed signs of fatigue. Kaido, for perhaps the first time in decades, was breathing heavily, blood streaming from multiple wounds. Enough, Kaido suddenly declared, lowering his club. This has become interesting. Luffy, his gear fourth form fading, stood defiantly despite his exhaustion. Give up, Kaido. Wano will be free today. Kaido's gaze shifted between Luffy and Goku. Perhaps. But not by your hand, Straw Hat. Before either could react, Kaido transformed into his dragon form and shot skyward. Unlike before, he didn't attack or threaten, he simply departed, flying toward the open sea. He's retreating? Goku questioned, surprised. No way, Luffy shook his head. Kaido doesn't retreat. From the distance, a samurai rushed toward them. Luffy Dano. Kaido's crew is abandoning Onigashima. The fortress is falling. All eyes turned to the massive skull-shaped island hovering above Wano. Without Kaido's power maintaining it, the island was indeed descending, directly toward the evacuated capital. He's going to destroy the city even in defeat, Goku realized. Luffy gritted his teeth. I don't have enough strength left to stop something that big. Goku assessed the falling fortress. At full power, he could easily destroy it or even move it safely away. But in his current state. I have an idea, he said suddenly. But I need everyone's help. 20 minutes later, Goku stood atop the highest point in Wano's capital, surrounded by the Straw Hat crew and dozens of samurai. He'd explained his plan, one born of desperate creativity. Are you sure this will work? Robin asked skeptically. No, Goku admitted. But it's our best shot. In my world, I can create a spirit bomb by gathering energy from willing participants. I think I can do something similar here with Haki. You want to gather our Haki? Zoro clarified, arms crossed. Not exactly gather it, Goku explained. More like, borrow it. Channel it. If everyone focuses their Haki toward me, I think I can use it to boost my own power enough to deal with Onigashima. Luffy didn't hesitate. Let's do it. Everyone, give Goku your Haki. The samurai looked uncertain, but their leader, Hyogoro, stepped forward. If Luffy Dono trusts you, so do we, the old man declared. What must we do? Focus your energy toward me, Goku instructed, raising his hands. Imagine you're directing your fighting spirit in my direction. As Onigashima continued its ominous descent, the assembled warriors closed their eyes in concentration. Goku felt it immediately, waves of unfamiliar energy flowing toward him. Unlike the pure life energy of a spirit bomb, this was more directed, more martial in nature. It's working, he murmured, channeling the borrowed Haki through his key pathways. The combination created something entirely new, a hybrid energy that felt both foreign and familiar. The Straw Hats contributed their specialized forms of Haki, Luffy's conquerors, Zoro's armament, Sanji's observation. Each added a different quality to the growing pool of power Goku was amassing. When he felt he had enough, Goku focused the hybrid energy into his hands, forming a sphere that pulsed with black lightning and blue ki. Everyone stand back. With a mighty effort, Goku launched the energy sphere upward. It shot toward Onigashima like a comet, growing in size as it traveled. When it struck the bottom of the fortress, the energy expanded outward, enveloping the entire structure. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly, Onigashima's descent halted. The hybrid energy sphere began pushing the fortress back upward, redirecting its momentum. It's working. Chopper cheered. With a final surge of power, Goku directed the energy to push Onigashima out to sea. The fortress moved with increasing speed until it was far from the capital. Then, with careful control, Goku allowed the energy to dissipate gradually, letting Onigashima sink into the ocean rather than crash catastrophically. The distant splash was visible even from the capital. Goku dropped to one knee, exhausted but smiling. That was different from a spirit bomb, but effective. Luffy bounced over, seemingly recovered from his own fatigue through sheer excitement. That was amazing. You've got to teach me that. I don't think it works that way, Goku laughed. But I could teach you about ki sometime. The celebrating crowd suddenly parted as a tall, elderly samurai approached. His noble bearing and the respect shown to him by the others marked him as someone of importance. Kazuki Sukiyaki, Robin whispered to Goku. The rightful shogun's father. The old man bowed deeply to Luffy, then turned to Goku with assessing eyes. Stranger from beyond, you have helped free Wano when our need was greatest. Our country owes you a debt. Goku rubbed the back of his head awkwardly. I just happened to drop in at the right time. Literally. Nevertheless, Sukiyaki continued, Wano will honor you alongside the Straw Hat Pirates as liberators. Does that mean there's gonna be a feast? Luffy asked eagerly. 'Cause I'm starving. Sukiyaki's serious expression cracked into a smile. Indeed, Straw Hat. The greatest feast Wano has seen in 20 years. Goku's stomach rumbled loudly at the mention of food, drawing laughter from the crowd. Sounds like just Goku is hungry too. Luffy grinned. Let's eat. The celebration in Wano's capital lasted long into the night. With Kaido gone and his forces defeated or retreated, citizens returned to reclaim their city. The atmosphere was one of cautious joy, a people testing their newfound freedom after decades of oppression. Goku, true to his Saiyan nature, amazed everyone with his appetite. He and Luffy engaged in an eating competition that ended in a tie only because the cooks ran out of food. "You eat as much as me," Luffy exclaimed, patting his distended belly. Actually, Goku admitted between mouthfuls, this is nothing. At full power, I could eat 3 times this much. Nami, sitting nearby, looked horrified. Don't encourage him. Our food budget is already impossible. As the celebration continued, Goku found himself approached by different Straw Hat members, each curious about their mysterious visitor. Robin sat beside him with graceful precision, her intelligent eyes studying him. Your arrival corresponds with ancient prophecies, you know. Really? Goku asked, surprised. Perhaps, she replied with a small smile. Our world has many legends of warriors from the sky who bring great change. I'm not really a prophecy kind of guy, Goku laughed. I just go where the fighting is. Robin's expression turned more serious. What you did today, combining Haki with your key energy, should have been impossible. No one masters Haki without years of training. Goku considered this. Where I come from, I've had to adapt to new energy types before. Divine Ki, God of Destruction Energy, Ultra Instinct. Maybe that experience helps. Perhaps, Robin nodded thoughtfully. Or perhaps your own energy is more compatible with ours than you realize. The multiverse theory suggests parallel worlds develop similar but distinct power systems. Before Goku could respond, Zoro dropped into the seat opposite him, placing a bottle of sake between them. Drink, the swordsman offered. Thanks, Goku accepted a cup. You fought impressively today. Your sword style reminds me of a friend of mine back home. The three-sword style is unique to me, Zoro stated with quiet pride. My friend uses a sword too, but just one. His name's Trunks. He once cut an immortal tyrant in half with a single strike. Zoro's eye gleamed with interest. I'd like to meet this swordsman someday. If I find a way back, maybe you can visit, Goku suggested. Though fair warning, our world has its own share of world-ending threats. Like every other Tuesday for us, Zoro chuckled darkly. As the night progressed, Goku shared stories with the Straw Hats, finding surprising parallels between their adventures and his own. Luffy's determination reminded him of himself. Zoro's dedication to training echoed Vegeta. Nami's fiery spirit was reminiscent of Bulma. Usopp's creative exaggerations brought Krillin to mind. Sanji's protective nature over his friends matched Piccolo's evolution from enemy to ally. Chopper's dual nature as healer and fighter reflected Android 18's complexity. Robin's quest for knowledge paralleled Gohan's scholarly pursuits. Frankie's cybernetic enhancements reminded him of the better aspects of Dr. Gero's work. And Brook's undying loyalty despite death itself had echoes of Goku's own returns from the afterlife. It's weird, Goku commented to Luffy as they watched fireworks explode over the capital. I just met you guys today, but it feels like I've known you much longer. That's 'cause we're already friends. Luffy declared with absolute certainty. I decided when you helped us fight Kaido. Is it that simple? Goku laughed. Yup. Luffy grinned. So what's our next adventure? Before Goku could remind him that he needed to find a way home, a commotion at the edge of the celebration drew their attention. A samurai rushed toward Sukiyaki, his expression urgent. My lord. Ships approaching from the south. They bear the flag of the world government. The festive atmosphere evaporated instantly. The Straw Hats were on their feet, suddenly alert despite the revelry moments before. How many? Zoro demanded. 5 vessels, including what appears to be a vice admiral's flagship, the samurai reported. Robin's expression darkened. They've responded faster than expected. News of Kaido's defeat shouldn't have reached them yet. Unless they were already nearby, watching, Nami suggested. Goku felt tension ripple through the crew. These world government guys, they're enemies. Complicated, Luffy replied with uncharacteristic seriousness. But yeah, mostly enemies. Sukiyaki addressed the growing crowd. Wano remains closed to outsiders. The world government has no authority here. They're not coming for Wano, Robin said quietly. They're coming for information about what happened here today. And possibly. Her eyes shifted to Goku. Me? Goku questioned, surprised. How would they even know about me already? CP0, Sanji explained, lighting a cigarette. They're intelligence agents. They've been in Wano undercover during Kaido's reign. They must have witnessed our battle. Great, Goku sighed. I've been here less than a day and already attracted government attention. That might be a new record, even for me. Sukiyaki straightened his robes with dignity. Wano will not surrender its liberators to the world government. We will deny them landing rights. That won't stop them, Zoro noted grimly. Not if they're determined. Luffy punched his fists together. Let them come. We beat Kaido today, we can handle some government ships. Goku studied the concerned faces around him. These people had just fought a war for their freedom. They deserved peace, not another battle because of his arrival. Maybe I should meet with them, he suggested. Explain that I'm just passing through this dimension. No, Robin said firmly. The world government would not understand or accept such an explanation. They would classify you as a threat to be contained or a weapon to be controlled. She's right, Frankie added. Anyone with your power would be considered a potential danger to their great balance. Goku frowned. The last thing he wanted was to bring more trouble to people who had welcomed him so readily. But he also wasn't about to hide while others fought his battles. Luffy, Goku turned to the young captain. This is your world, your expertise. What do you think we should do? Luffy didn't hesitate. We leave. Tonight. Get back to the Sunny and sail away from Wano. The samurai can tell the government we were never here. They won't believe it, Nami pointed out. Doesn't matter, Luffy shrugged. They can't prove anything if we're gone. Goku nodded, understanding the logic. A strategic retreat. Works for me. As the Straw Hats quickly gathered their belongings, Sukiyaki approached Goku one last time. Our debt to you remains unpaid, the old man said solemnly. If you ever return to Wano, you will be welcomed as family. Thank you, Goku bowed respectfully. I hope your country knows peace from now on. Within the hour, the Straw Hat pirates and their dimensional visitor had boarded their ship, the Thousand Sunny, and set sail under the cover of darkness, leaving Wano and the approaching world government fleet behind. Dawn found the Thousand Sunny sailing smoothly through calm seas, having successfully evaded the government ships during the night. Goku stood at the rail, watching the sunrise with mixed emotions. The beauty of this world's ocean reminded him of peaceful mornings at Mount Paozu, making him think of Chi-Chi and his sons. Homesick? Goku turned to find Robin beside him, offering a cup of coffee. A bit, he admitted, accepting the drink. I've been away from my family before, but usually I at least knew how to get back to them. I've been researching dimensional theory, Robin said, leaning against the rail. Our world has several phenomena that might relate to your situation. Ancient weapons, devil fruits, the void century, interdimensional travel isn't entirely without precedent. Goku perked up. You think there might be a way for me to get home? Perhaps, Robin nodded thoughtfully. But I need more information. Both about how you arrived and about the nature of your world's energy. The Grand Line is full of mysteries, somewhere in that knowledge might be your answer. That's encouraging, Goku smiled, then noticed the subtle tension in her posture. But there's something else bothering you. Robin's analytical eyes widened slightly, impressed by his perception. Yes. The world government's rapid response to events in Wano suggests they already know something we don't. Their intelligence network is vast, but even they shouldn't have mobilized so quickly. Unless they were expecting something to happen, Goku surmised. Exactly. Robin sipped her coffee. Which raises the question, what did they know, and how did they know it? Their conversation was interrupted by Luffy's energetic arrival on deck. Goku. Robin. Sanji's making breakfast. And he said he'd make extra for you, Goku. The mention of food immediately shifted Goku's attention. Great. I'm starving after last night. As they headed toward the galley, Luffy bounced alongside Goku. After breakfast, can you show me more of those energy attacks? The came something. Kamehameha, Goku corrected. And sure, though I'm still not at full power. How long do you think it'll take to get back to normal? Luffy asked. Goku concentrated briefly, taking stock of his energy levels. I'm maybe at 40% now. Better than yesterday. If the trend continues, I might reach full base form in a week or so. Base form? Luffy's eyes widened with excitement. You mean you have different forms like my gears? Something like that, Goku smiled, remembering his various Super Saiyan transformations. Though my changes are a bit more dramatic. Awesome! Luffy exclaimed. I can't wait to see. The galley was already crowded with the rest of the crew when they arrived. Sanji efficiently managed multiple pans at once, preparing what looked like enough food for an army. The aroma made Goku's stomach rumble audibly. I heard that from the stove, Sanji commented dryly. Don't worry, I've prepared for Saiyan appetites now. You know, you remind me of my wife, Goku told Sanji as he eagerly accepted a plate piled high with food. She's an amazing cook too. Your wife cooks for you back home? Nami asked, seemingly trying to picture Goku in a domestic setting. Chi-Chi's the best, Goku nodded between mouthfuls. She keeps me and our sons well fed, even though we can eat enough for 10 families. Sons? You're a father? Chopper asked, surprised. Yep. Gohan's my oldest, he's actually more scholar than fighter now, though he's incredibly strong when needed. Then there's Goten, who's a lot like me at that age. The crew exchanged glances, clearly reassessing their dimensional visitor with this new information. No wonder you were concerned about finding a way back, Brook observed. You have family waiting. Goku nodded, his expression momentarily solemn. Chi-Chi's used to me disappearing for training or world saving, but I try not to stay away too long these days. We've been through a lot together. We'll help you get home, Luffy declared with absolute certainty. That's a promise. The simple sincerity in Luffy's voice reminded Goku strongly of himself in his younger years, that unshakable determination that made the impossible seem merely challenging. Thanks, Luffy, Goku smiled, genuinely touched. After breakfast, the crew gathered on deck for what Luffy had enthusiastically dubbed, key training. Goku, still adapting to this world's energy, decided to start with the basics. Ki is life energy, he explained to the attentive pirates. Everyone has it, but not everyone learns to access it. It's similar to your haki in some ways, but it comes from within rather than drawing from external sources. Can anyone learn it? Usopp asked eagerly. In my world, yes, Goku nodded. Though some have more natural talent than others. I'm not sure how it works here, since your energy systems are different, but it's worth trying. For the next hour, Goku guided the Straw Hats through meditation exercises designed to help them sense their internal energy. To his surprise, several showed immediate aptitude. Luffy, with his intuitive understanding of his own body, managed to produce a tiny flicker of ki between his palms after just 30 minutes of practice. "I did it," he shouted, startling himself enough that the energy dissipated instantly. "Did you see that?" "Impressive," Goku acknowledged. "It took Krillin days to get that far when we first trained." Zoro, with his disciplined mind and body awareness, also showed promise, though his energy manifested differently, more concentrated and blade-like. "It feels like extending my will through my swords," Zoro observed, "but without the swords." "That's exactly right," Goku confirmed. "Ki is an extension of yourself." Robin, surprisingly, demonstrated perhaps the most controlled understanding, though she produced little visible energy. "It's like my devil fruit power," she explained, focusing intention through a medium. "But instead of creating body parts, I'm channeling pure energy." As the training continued, Frankie monitored something on a small device. His expression grew increasingly concerned. Guys," he finally interrupted. "We might have a problem." "What is it?" Nami asked. "I've been scanning for government transponder signals since we left Wano," Frankie explained. "There's unusual activity southeast of our position. Multiple ships converging. They couldn't have tracked us," Sanji frowned. "We've been careful." "They're not tracking us," Robin realized. "They're establishing a blockade. They know we'll head for the next island eventually." Luffy didn't seem concerned. "So we'll go around them." "It's not that simple," Nami shook her head, examining the navigational charts. "The currents in this region all flow toward Romance Dawn Island. We'd need to backtrack significantly to find another route. And we can't return to Wano without bringing the government down on them," Zoro added grimly. Goku studied the tension on their faces, understanding their predicament. "These government folks really have it in for you guys, huh? We've been thorns in their side for a while," Usopp explained with a mix of pride and anxiety. "Especially after Enies Lobby and Marineford. And now they're especially interested in you," Robin added, glancing at Goku. "A warrior with unknown powers who helped defeat an emperor." Luffy punched his fists together. "Doesn't matter. We'll break through their blockade if we have to." "Perhaps there's an alternative," Robin suggested. "The calm belt is to our north. Dangerous, but with Sunny's capabilities and our combined strength." "The calm belt teems with sea kings larger than buildings," Nami reminded her. Goku's interest peaked. "Sea kings? Like sea monsters?" "Exactly like sea monsters," Usopp confirmed nervously. "Gigantic ones that can swallow our ship whole." A familiar excitement sparked in Goku. "Sounds like a challenge." Luffy's face split into a matching grin. "Now you're talking. Frankie, prepare the coup de burst for a northern launch. We're taking Sunny through the calm belt." "You two are insane," Nami sighed, but she was already adjusting their course. "The rest of us will prepare for battle stations." As the crew scrambled to their positions, Goku felt a surge of appreciation for these pirates. Despite having just emerged from one battle, they faced the prospect of another without hesitation. Their adaptability and teamwork reminded him powerfully of the Z fighters during their best moments. Within minutes, the Thousand Sunny changed course, heading toward the ominously still waters of the calm belt. The transition was dramatic. One moment, the Sunny sailed through normal seas with wind filling its sails, the next, it entered waters so still they resembled glass. The air became hot and humid, hanging heavy around them. "No wind, no waves, no currents," Nami explained to Goku as Frankie engaged auxiliary power systems. "That's why it's called the calm belt." "And the sea monsters?" Goku asked, scanning the glassy surface. "They could appear anywhere, anytime," Usopp answered, his knees knocking slightly. "We're in their territory now." Goku closed his eyes, extending his senses. After a day in this world, he was becoming more attuned to its energy patterns. Beneath the ship, he felt massive life forces moving through the depths. 3 large ones approaching from below, he announced, opening his eyes. About 2 minutes out at their current speed. The crew stared at him in surprise. You can sense them? Sanji asked. Ki sensing, Goku nodded. All living things have energy signatures. These are impressive. Zoro unsheathed his swords. Where will they surface? Goku pointed to 3 locations around the ship. Port side, starboard bow, and directly astern. Frankie, full power to the rear propulsion, Nami ordered immediately. Sanji, Zoro, take the port position. Brook, Robin, starboard. Luffy, I want to fight with Goku. Luffy declared. Nami sighed. Fine. You two take the stern position. As everyone moved to their stations, Goku felt the massive presences accelerating. They've noticed us, he warned. They're coming faster now. On cue, the still waters erupted as 3 enormous creatures surfaced. Each resembled a sea serpent the size of a skyscraper, with razor-sharp teeth and eyes that gleamed with predatory intelligence. Sea Kings. Chopper squealed in terror. Goku's fighter instinct kicked into high gear, analyzing these new opponents. They're coordinating, he observed with professional interest. Surrounding us. These aren't mindless animals. They're not, Robin confirmed, crossing her arms in preparation for battle. Sea Kings possess primitive intelligence and hunting strategies. The Sea King at the stern, a blue-scaled behemoth with a crown-like crest, roared and lunged toward the ship. Goku and Luffy leapt to meet it. Gum Gum Elephant Gun. Luffy's arm enlarged and coated with haki as he delivered a devastating punch to the creature's jaw. Simultaneously, Goku gathered ki into a concentrated point between his palms. Ki-ho. The focused energy blast struck the Sea King's throat, causing it to recoil in pain and confusion. These things are tough. Goku called to Luffy as the Sea King recovered with surprising speed. Yeah. Isn't it fun? Luffy laughed, stretching his limbs in preparation for another attack. On the port side, Zoro and Sanji engaged their own opponent, a crimson serpent with multiple rows of teeth. 3-sword style, Dragon Twister. Zoro created a tornado-like cutting force that sliced across the Sea King's scales. Diable Jam, Flambeage Shot. Sanji followed with a flaming kick that cauterized the wound Zoro had opened, drawing an agonized roar from the creature. At the starboard position, Robin immobilized the 3rd Sea King, a green-striped monster with horn-like protrusions, using multiple gigantic arms sprouted from its own body while Brook darted in with lightning-fast sword strikes. Soul Solid, Obad Ku Droit. The skeleton swordsman's blade left frost patterns on the creature's hide. The coordinated defense was impressive, but Goku noticed more disturbances in the water. There are more coming. At least 5 more signatures approaching fast. They hunt in pods, Robin explained grimly. The initial attackers are testing our defenses. Nami gripped her climatact. We need to break through quickly, or we'll be overwhelmed. Goku assessed their situation with the clarity that came from countless battles. These pirates were strong, but this wasn't a sustainable fight, not with reinforcements arriving and limited space to maneuver. Luffy, Goku called, dodging a massive bite from their opponent. I have an idea, but I need everyone to buy me 2 minutes. You got it. Luffy shouted back, stretching his arms to wrap around the Sea King's snout. Everyone. Protect Goku while he does his mystery technique. The crew responded instantly, shifting their battle strategies to defensive positions. Zoro created cutting barriers with his swords, while Sanji's kicks generated heat updrafts that confused the attacking serpents. Robin used her multiple arms to temporarily bind the creatures, while Brook's music seemed to momentarily hypnotize them. Goku took a position at the center of the ship, closed his eyes, and began gathering energy. This would be risky, he hadn't attempted to combine ki and haki at this scale before. But necessity was driving his adaptation to this world's energy systems. What's he doing? Usopp asked, firing explosive pellets to distract an approaching Sea King. Something awesome, obviously. Luffy replied with complete confidence. As Goku concentrated, a visible aura began to form around him, not the pure white or golden energy of his home dimension, but something new, blue ki intertwined with black hockey threads, swirling together like oil and water slowly mixing. The Sea Kings seemed to sense the building power, their attacks becoming more frenzied. 2 more massive serpents surfaced, bringing the total to 8 surrounding the small ship. Whatever you're doing, hurry it up. Nami called, using weather techniques to create fog barriers. Goku's eyes snapped open, glowing with combined energies. Everyone, brace yourselves. He raised both hands skyward, then brought them down in a swift, controlled motion. The hybrid energy expanded outward in a perfect circle, forming a dome around 1,000 sunny. As it reached the attacking Sea Kings, the energy didn't strike them, instead, it pushed outward with inexorable force, driving them back. It's not hurting them, Chopper observed in wonder. It's just, moving them. No need to kill if we can just create passage, Goku explained, maintaining the technique with visible effort. Frankie, now's the time to use that burst thing. Frankie, snapping out of his amazed observation, jumped into action. Coup de burst. The Sunny's rockets ignited, propelling the ship forward through the path Goku had cleared. The Sea Kings, temporarily pushed back by the energy barrier, roared in frustrated hunger as their prey escaped. As the Sunny flew forward, Goku's energy dome dissipated. He dropped to one knee, breathing heavily. That was, different from what I expected, he admitted. The energies here don't mix easily. Luffy bounded over, eyes shining with excitement. That was amazing. You pushed away all those Sea Kings without even hitting them. Remarkable control, Robin observed, helping Goku to his feet. You manipulated the energy as a barrier rather than a weapon. Seemed like the right approach, Goku shrugged. Those creatures were just hunting in their territory. No need to kill them for that. The simple compassion in his statement drew approving looks from the crew. Most people would have just tried to destroy them, Nami noted. Goku grinned. I've been the biggest, strongest guy in the fight plenty of times. Doesn't always mean you have to use that strength to crush everything in your path. As the Sunny's burst propulsion ran its course, the ship settled back onto calmer waters, still within the calm belt, but now miles from the Sea King pod they'd encountered. We should be safe for a while, Frankie announced, checking his instruments. That pod won't follow us this far out of their territory. Good, Goku nodded, sitting cross-legged on the deck. I need to rest a bit. That technique took more out of me than I expected. You're still adapting to our world's energy, Robin observed. The strain must be considerable. It's getting easier, Goku assured her. That's why I wanted to try something new. The more I work with both Ki and Haki, the better I understand how they interact. Luffy plopped down beside him. So you'll be able to do even cooler stuff soon. That's the plan, Goku laughed. Though I'm still nowhere near what I can do at home. Sanji emerged from the galley with refreshments for everyone. As the crew relaxed from the immediate danger, Goku noticed Frankie and Usopp in serious conversation near the ship's stern, examining some kind of mechanical device. Everything okay? He called to them. The two exchanged glances before Frankie approached, holding what appeared to be a small metal sphere. Found this attached to Sunny's hull when I was checking for damage, Frankie explained, his expression unusually grave. It's a tracking device, advanced design. Government? Zoro asked sharply. Definitely, Usopp confirmed. It's CP standard issue. But how? Nami questioned. When could they have placed it? Wano, Robin surmised. One of their agents must have attached it during the celebration chaos. Luffy's expression darkened uncharacteristically. So they've been following us? Worse, Frankie held up the device. This isn't just a tracker. It's also been recording data and transmitting it. Energy readings, conversations on deck. All eyes turned to Goku. They've been studying me, he realized. Learning about Ki and how I'm using it. Robin nodded solemnly. The World Government's Scientific Division will be analyzing everything. Your techniques, limitations, adaptation rate. That's why they set up the blockade, Nami added. They're not trying to catch us, they're hurting us. Testing how you'll respond. The implications settled heavily over the crew. Goku had experienced similar situations before, organizations seeking to understand and counter his abilities. But never in a world where he was still regaining his strength. We should destroy it, Zoro suggested, reaching for the device. Wait, Robin interrupted. Destroying it would alert them immediately that we've discovered it. So what do we do? Chopper asked anxiously. Goku studied the device, then smiled slowly. We give them what they want, partially. What do you mean? Luffy asked. If they're studying me, let's control what they learn, Goku explained. I can demonstrate techniques that seem impressive but actually reveal very little about what I can really do. Robin's eyes lit with understanding. Misinformation. Show them enough to make them believe they're getting valuable data, while concealing your true capabilities. Exactly, Goku nodded. It's not usually my style, I prefer straightforward fights, but this isn't my world, and I don't want to cause more problems for you guys. A deception strategy, Sanji mused, tapping his cigarette. It could work, but we'd need to be convincing. I can help with that. Usopp volunteered eagerly. Deception is my specialty. The crew quickly formed a plan. They would continue their journey through the Calm Belt, putting on a show of training and technique development for the monitoring device while secretly preparing for the inevitable confrontation with government forces. If they think they understand my abilities, Goku explained, they'll develop countermeasures based on incomplete information. When we finally meet, they'll be surprised by what I can really do. Sneaky, Luffy grinned. I like it. As the plan took shape, Goku reflected on how quickly he'd integrated with this crew of pirates. Their acceptance and adaptability reminded him powerfully of the best qualities of the Z fighters. Different personalities united by shared purpose and mutual respect. For the next 3 days, the Thousand Sunny navigated carefully through the Calm Belt, avoiding major Sea King territories while maintaining their deception. Goku performed flashy but fundamentally simplistic key techniques on deck, while conducting his true training below decks where the tracking device couldn't monitor him. His recovery continued steadily. By the 3rd day, he estimated his base form was at approximately 60% capacity. Still far from his Super Saiyan capabilities, but increasingly formidable in this world's context. More importantly, his understanding of Haki was developing rapidly. Under Luffy's enthusiastic guidance and Zoro's more methodical instruction, Goku began to grasp the 3 main categories: observation, armament, and conquerors. Conqueror's Haki is the rarest, Luffy explained during one below-deck session. Only 1 in a million people have it. It seems similar to ki projection, Goku observed, but focused on will rather than energy. Can you try it? Luffy asked eagerly. Goku concentrated, focusing on the intensity of will that had carried him through countless battles against impossible odds. To his surprise, a wave of pressure emanated from him, subtle but unmistakable. Zoro, observing nearby, raised an eyebrow. You've got it. Not completely controlled yet, but the potential is definitely there. Another similarity to my world, Goku noted. Different applications of similar principles. During daylight hours, the charade continued. Goku performed increasingly impressive but fundamentally misleading demonstrations for the benefit of the tracking device. At night, the real training intensified. On the morning of the 4th day, Nami announced they were approaching the northern edge of the Calm Belt. Beyond lay open waters that would eventually lead to their next destination. We should reach normal currents by midday, she informed the crew. But I'm worried about what awaits us there. The government forces will have adjusted their blockade based on our trajectory, Robin agreed. Frankie studied his instruments. The tracker's transmission frequency changed last night. They're definitely coordinating something. Goku, having just completed his morning meditation, joined the conversation. Then we should be ready for them. How do you want to handle it, Luffy? All eyes turned to the captain, who had been uncharacteristically quiet during their deception operation. Now, his expression hardened with determination. We break through, he stated simply. Whatever they've got waiting, we smash it and keep going. Direct approach, Goku nodded approvingly. I like it. What about the information they've gathered on you? Sanji questioned. Goku smiled confidently. Let them think they understand what I can do. The surprise will be more effective that way. As predicted, the Sunny reached the edge of the calm belt by midday. The transition back to normal seas came with an immediate change in atmosphere, wind filled the sails, waves lapped against the hull, and the oppressive stillness gave way to the natural rhythm of the ocean. It also brought confirmation of their concerns. On the horizon, a line of marine vessels formed an imposing blockade. 5 battleships arranged in a semicircle, positioned to intercept any approach. They've been waiting for us, Brook observed unnecessarily. Through binoculars, Robin studied the central vessel. That's not a standard battleship. It's a research vessel, look at the equipment on the deck. Goku borrowed the binoculars, examining their opponents. Sure enough, the central ship bristled with unfamiliar technology. Scientists in white coats moved purposefully among what appeared to be measuring instruments and weapon systems. They've prepared specifically for me, he realized. Based on what they think you can do, Zoro reminded him. Luffy cracked his knuckles. Doesn't matter what they've prepared. We're going through. The Sunny continued its approach, and soon a voice boomed across the water from a transponder snail loudspeaker. Straw Hat Pirates. This is Vice Admiral Tokihara. You are ordered to heave to and prepare for boarding. Surrender the dimensional anomaly immediately. Dimensional anomaly, Goku repeated with a chuckle. Is that what they're calling me? Never. Luffy shouted back. He's our friend, not your science project. The Vice Admiral's voice hardened. Then you leave us no choice. You've been designated as accomplices in harboring a threat to world security. The battleships began to move, tightening their formation to completely block the Sunny's path. They're serious, Nami observed nervously. That's a lot of firepower. Goku stepped to the bow, studying the approaching vessels. I can sense some strong individuals on board. Not Kaido level, but definitely powerful. CP0 agents, most likely, Robin surmised. The government's strongest intelligence operatives. And that Vice Admiral won't be a pushover either, Sanji added. Luffy joined Goku at the bow. What do you think? Frontal assault or try to break through their weakest point? Goku considered their options with the tactical assessment of a seasoned warrior. Their formation is designed to funnel us toward that central research ship. They want to capture, not destroy. So we aim directly for the center, Luffy grinned. Break through their strongest point. That's either very brave or very foolish, Robin commented with a small smile. Sometimes there's not much difference, Goku returned the smile. Luffy's right, they'll expect us to look for the weak point. Going straight at their stronghold gives us the element of surprise. With the decision made, the crew prepared for battle. Weapons were readied, devil fruit users warmed up their abilities, and Frankie prepared the Sunny's special systems for combat. As they closed the distance, the marine ships opened fire with warning shots that splashed harmlessly around the Sunny. Last chance, Straw Hat. Vice Admiral Tokihara's voice boomed. Surrender the anomaly. Luffy's response was characteristically direct. He stretched his arm high into the air and brought it down with devastating force on the nearest battleship's deck. "That's our answer," he shouted. The battle erupted with explosive fury. Marine cannons targeted the Sunny while the pirate ship returned fire with Frankie's advanced weapons systems. Goku, following their plan, remained relatively passive at first, letting the Marines believe their intelligence on his capabilities was accurate. The Vice Admiral himself appeared on the deck of the central ship, a tall, broad-shouldered man with a weathered face and calculating eyes. Beside him stood two figures in white masks and dark suits, CP-0 agents. Target confirmed, one agent reported loudly enough to carry across the water. Energy signature matches recorded data. Goku suppressed a smile. They were monitoring his key output, believing they understood its limitations based on the deliberately restrained demonstrations he performed for the tracking device. "Deploy the countermeasures," Tokihara ordered. From the research vessel's deck, a series of devices activated, emitting visible waves of energy that rippled through the air toward the Sunny. "Energy disruption field," the Vice Admiral announced with satisfaction. "Specifically calibrated to the anomaly's frequency. Your abilities are neutralized." To emphasize the point, one of the CP-0 agents fired what appeared to be a specialized gun. The projectile, a glowing net of some kind, flew directly toward Goku. With deliberate timing, Goku allowed the net to envelop him. Immediately, he felt a familiar sensation, similar to the sea stone chains from Wano, but modified based on the data they'd gathered. "It's working," a scientist called triumphantly. Energy readings dropping. Goku struggled convincingly against the net as Marines prepared to board the partially disabled Sunny. The Straw Hats fought valiantly against the encroaching forces, but the odds were clearly against them. Vice Admiral Tokihara approached the railing of his ship, satisfaction evident in his posture. "The world government thanks you for your cooperation, Dimensional Anomaly. Your energy signatures have been most educational." "Glad to be helpful," Goku replied with a grin that confused the Vice Admiral. "You find your capture amusing?" Tokihara questioned. "Not my capture," Goku clarified. "Just that you think you understand my powers based on what I wanted you to see." Tokihara's expression shifted to concern. "What are you?" Goku's aura suddenly flared, not with the blue-tinged key energy they'd been monitoring, but with the pure white force of his true power. The specialized net disintegrated as Goku's power level shot upward, far beyond what their instruments had recorded. "Impossible," the scientist cried. "His energy signature has completely changed." "That's because I wasn't using my full power," Goku explained calmly, rising into the air. "Or my real techniques." The disruption field visibly wavered around him, its effectiveness compromised by energy it wasn't calibrated to counter. "Recalibrate the field," Tokihara ordered frantically. "Too late for that," Goku replied. He turned to Luffy, who was grinning widely at the Marine's shock. "Ready to break through?" "Born ready," Luffy confirmed, his body shifting into Gear 4. Goku cupped his hands at his side, gathering energy for a Kamehameha, but with a twist. As the blue energy formed between his palms, he infused it with the armament hockey he'd been practicing. The resulting energy sphere pulsed with both powers combined. "Ka-me." The Marines scrambled to adjust their countermeasures, but their calibrations were based on incomplete data. "Ha-me." Luffy inflated his arms to massive proportions, coating them with hockey. "Gum-gum Kong Organ Gun." As Luffy unleashed a barrage of powerful punches against the surrounding ships, Goku completed his attack. "Ha." The hockey-infused Kamehameha blasted through the disruption field and struck the central research vessel with pinpoint accuracy. Rather than aiming to destroy, Goku targeted the ship's specialized equipment, disintegrating the countermeasure devices with surgical precision. Vice Admiral Tokihara staggered as his ship rocked from the impact. The CP-0 agents moved with blinding speed, attempting to counterattack, but Goku was suddenly no longer where they aimed. Moving faster than most eyes could track, Goku appeared between the two agents. "Sorry about this," he said before delivering precisely measured strikes that rendered both unconscious without permanent injury. The Vice Admiral drew his sword, its blade glowing with haki. "What are you?" he demanded. "Just a guy who ended up in the wrong dimension," Goku replied honestly. "And I'd rather not fight if I don't have to." Tokihara hesitated, assessing the situation with a veteran's eye. His countermeasures neutralized, his CP-0 backup defeated, and facing an opponent whose power clearly exceeded his intelligence reports. "Stand down," he finally ordered his forces. "Cease fire and withdraw." The Marines hesitated, surprised by the order. "I said withdraw." Tokihara repeated firmly. "This is not a battle we're prepared to win today." As the Marines reluctantly obeyed, Luffy landed beside Goku on the research vessel's deck. "That's it?" he asked, sounding almost disappointed. "They're giving up." "They're being smart," Goku explained. "Regrouping to develop new strategies based on better information." Tokihara studied them both with calculated intensity. "This isn't over. The world government will not allow an uncontrolled power of your magnitude to roam freely." "I don't plan to stay in your world forever," Goku assured him. "I'm just trying to find my way home." Something shifted in the Vice Admiral's expression, a flicker of surprise quickly masked. "You believe that's possible?" "With the right help, yes," Goku nodded. "Your scientists seem pretty advanced. Maybe they could assist instead of trying to capture me." Tokihara's laugh held no humor. "The world government doesn't collaborate with potential threats. They contain them." "Then we remain at an impasse," Goku replied calmly. "Because I won't be contained, and I don't want to fight your people unnecessarily." The Vice Admiral's gaze shifted to Luffy. "Straw Hat. You realize harboring him makes you an even greater priority target?" Luffy's response was a wide, defiant grin. "He's my friend now. That's all that matters." Without another word, Goku placed a hand on Luffy's shoulder and used his recovered speed to return them both to the Sunny's deck. "Frankie!" Luffy called immediately. Kuda burst through the opening. "You got it, Captain. Everyone hang on." Frankie engaged the Sunny's special propulsion system, sending the ship flying through the gap in the marine blockade created by Goku's attack. As they sailed away, leaving the disarrayed marine forces behind, the crew gathered on deck to assess their victory. "That was amazing!" Chopper exclaimed, dancing around Goku. "You completely fooled them with your fake power level." "It was a good plan," Robin acknowledged. "Though I suspect we've only complicated our situation. The world government now knows you're even more powerful than they feared." "And that Vice Admiral seemed to react when you mentioned finding a way home," Zoro added thoughtfully. "Almost like he knew something." Goku nodded, having noticed the same thing. "I caught that too." There was recognition in his eyes. "You think the government has information about dimensional travel?" Nami questioned. "It's possible," Robin considered. During the Void Century, there are scattered references to visitors from beyond the sky. Most historians dismiss them as allegorical, but now they've seen proof that other dimensions exist. Sanji completed the thought. The implication settled over the crew like a physical weight. If the world government possessed knowledge about dimensional boundaries, it would be classified at the highest levels, accessible only to the Five Elders or even Im-sama himself. So what now? Brook asked the question on everyone's mind. Luffy's answer was immediate and confident. "We keep going. Next island, then the next, until we find a way to send Goku home." The simplicity of his determination lightened the mood considerably. "And if the Marines show up again?" Usopp asked nervously. Goku grinned, feeling more of his power returning with each passing day. "Next time, they'll need a lot more ships." 2 days later, the Thousand Sunny approached Romance Dawn Island, a bustling trade port known for its cosmopolitan population and relaxed attitude toward pirates. After the tension of the marine encounter, the crew was eager for resupply and information gathering. As they prepared to dock, Robin pulled Goku aside. "I've been researching something that might interest you," she said quietly. "About dimensional travel?" Goku asked hopefully. "Perhaps," she nodded. "There's a scholar on this island, Professor Helios, who specializes in ancient technologies. His recent papers hint at discoveries related to what he calls boundary phenomena." Goku's expression brightened. "That sounds promising. We should approach carefully," Robin cautioned. "After our encounter with the Marines, the government may have agents watching potential information sources." "Right," Goku nodded. "Stealth mission." Robin's lips curved into a small smile. "Can you do stealth?" Goku laughed sheepishly. "Well, it's not my specialty, but I can try." Their conversation was interrupted by Luffy's excited shout from the figurehead. "Land ho! Adventure time!" The Sunny docked at a less conspicuous pier on the island's eastern side. Nami organized the crew into teams, some for supplies, others for information gathering, and a third group to guard the ship. "Goku, you should probably stay with the ship," Nami suggested. "After the marine encounter, your, distinctive appearance?" Goku offered, gesturing to his bright orange GI and unique hairstyle. "Exactly," Nami nodded. "It might attract attention." Robin intervened. "Actually, I'd like Goku to accompany me to Professor Helios's laboratory. His insights could be valuable." Luffy immediately perked up. "I want to come too." "Sounds interesting." Nami sighed in resignation. "Fine, but please try to be inconspicuous. All of you." An hour later, Goku found himself wearing borrowed clothes, a simple black shirt and pants that helped him blend in better than his distinctive GI. His hair remained unmistakable, but Robin had suggested a casual hat that at least partially disguised his spiky locks. "How do people not recognize you guys everywhere you go?" Goku asked as they walked through the busy market district. "Your wanted posters are all over the place. Most people see what they expect to see," Robin explained. "And right now, they're not expecting the Straw Hat Pirates to casually stroll through their marketplace." Luffy, despite Nami's pleas for subtlety, wore his signature straw hat proudly. "Plus, it's more fun this way. If we get spotted, we just run." "Your tactical approach is as sophisticated as ever, Captain," Robin remarked dryly. Professor Helios's laboratory was located near the island center, a modest building nestled between more ostentatious structures. Nothing about its exterior suggested the cutting-edge research supposedly taking place within. "Are you sure this is it?" Goku questioned as they approached. "Appearances can be deceiving," Robin replied, knocking on the unmarked door. After a moment, the door opened to reveal an elderly man with wild white hair and spectacles perched on his nose. He peered at them suspiciously. "No interviews. No demonstrations. And absolutely no investment opportunities," he declared before starting to close the door. Robin smoothly inserted her foot in the gap. "Professor Helios, we're not reporters or investors. We're here about your research on boundary phenomena." The professor paused, his eyes narrowing. "Who sent you?" "No one sent us," Goku answered honestly. "But I think I might be what you'd call a boundary phenomenon." This caught the old man's attention. His gaze shifted to Goku, studying him with sudden intensity. "Impossible," he muttered, then more loudly, "Come in, quickly." He ushered them inside and secured multiple locks on the door. The interior of the building belied its humble exterior, advanced equipment lined the walls, and holographic displays showed complex mathematical equations floating in 3 dimensions. "Wow!" Luffy exclaimed, reaching toward a pulsing orb of light. "Don't touch that." Helios slapped his hand away. "It's a stabilized quantum fluctuation. Extremely delicate." The professor circled Goku like a curious bird, adjusting his spectacles repeatedly. "Fascinating. The energy signature is completely foreign to our dimensional constants. Where did you find him? He asked Robin. He found us, she replied. Or more accurately, he fell into our world during a battle in Wano. Helios stopped his examination, his expression shifting to concern. Wano? Then the rumors are true. The government vessels, the unusual energy readings. You've heard something? Goku asked eagerly. Whispers only, Helios admitted. The scientific community has been abuzz with rumors of a dimensional incursion. The world government imposed an immediate information blackout, but you can't contain that kind of news completely. He gestured for them to follow him deeper into the laboratory. I've been studying boundary phenomena for 40 years. The possibility of other dimensions existing alongside our own, occasionally intersecting, most dismissed my work as theoretical abstraction. But you believe it's more than theory, Robin observed. I know it is, Helios stated firmly. There have been incidents throughout history, unexplained appearances, disappearances, objects and occasionally people that seem to defy our world's natural laws. He activated a holographic display showing a timeline with marked incidents. What we call devil fruits may themselves be boundary phenomena, objects infused with energy from another dimensional plane. That's why they affect sea water. Luffy exclaimed with sudden insight, surprising both Robin and the professor with his perceptiveness. Exactly. Helios pointed at Luffy with approval. Sea water disrupts the connection between dimensions. It's why devil fruit users lose their powers in water. And why sea stone affected my ki, Goku realized. It was interrupting my connection to my home dimension's energy. The professor turned to him with increased interest. You maintained your abilities despite the dimensional transfer. Remarkable. There must be something unique about your physiology or energy manipulation techniques. I'm a scion, Goku explained. Not human, though I was raised on Earth. My people naturally manipulate ki, life energy. And you want to return to your dimension, Helios surmised. If possible, Goku nodded. I have family waiting. The professor's expression grew thoughtful. The boundary between dimensions isn't like a door you can simply open and close. It's more like a membrane. Sometimes it thins or tears naturally, allowing passage. Creating such an opening intentionally would require extraordinary energy and precision. But it's theoretically possible. Robin pressed. Theoretically, yes, Helios confirmed. And there might be precedent. During the Void Century, ancient texts refer to something called the Mirror Path, a means by which travelers from beyond the sky return to their realm. Goku felt a surge of hope. Do you know where this Mirror Path might be? The professor shook his head. The world government systematically destroyed most records from that era. What little we know comes from scattered fragments and the poneglyphs. Which Robin can read. Luffy volunteered proudly. Helios's eyes widened as he stared at Robin with new appreciation. You're an archaeologist who reads the forbidden language. No wonder you sought me out. I've encountered references to boundary phenomena in several poneglyphs, Robin acknowledged. But never specific instructions or locations. The professor moved to a secure cabinet and withdrew an ancient scroll. This might help. It's a partial translation of a document supposedly copied from a poneglyph before the government could destroy it. It mentions a convergence point where the boundaries between worlds naturally thin. Robin examined the scroll with expert care. These coordinates, they point to an island deep in the New World. Near what we now call the Triangle Archipelago. The government heavily restricts access to that region, Helios warned. Now I understand why. Goku and Luffy exchanged determined glances. Doesn't matter, Luffy declared. If that's where we need to go, that's where we'll go. Their planning was abruptly interrupted by a tremendous explosion that rocked the building. Alarm systems blared as Helios rushed to a monitoring system. Government forces, he reported urgently. CP0 agents and someone else. Someone powerful. Goku extended his senses, immediately detecting a formidable presence approaching. He's strong, he confirmed. Different from the Vice Admiral we faced before. His energy feels plant-like. Robin's expression darkened. Ryukyu. Admiral Aramaki. He controls plant life and can drain energy from living beings. An admiral? Luffy's expression shifted to serious determination. They're not messing around. They must have been monitoring the professor, Robin realized. Or us. Helios frantically gathered research materials. You need to leave. My emergency exit leads to the harbor. Take this, he thrust the ancient scroll into Robin's hands, and find the convergence point. Another explosion, closer this time, shook dust from the ceiling. What about you? Goku asked the professor. I'll delay them, Helios replied grimly. My laboratory has defenses. Not enough to stop an admiral, but enough to buy you time. We're not leaving you behind, Luffy declared firmly. The professor smiled sadly. Young man, I've spent my life pursuing knowledge others dismissed as fantasy. Meeting him, he nodded toward Goku, proves I was right all along. That's victory enough for an old scientist. Now go. Before they could argue further, the wall exploded inward. Through the smoke stepped a tall, lean man with a Marine Admiral's coat draped over his shoulders. Plants grew from his body, shifting and flowing like living extensions of himself. Professor Helios, Admiral Ryukyu greeted casually. Sharing classified information with pirates. The 5 elders are most displeased. Run! Helios shouted, activating a defense system that fired energy blasts at the admiral. Ryukyu merely smiled as plant tendrils absorbed the energy. Futile, Professor. Though admittedly ingenious. Goku stepped forward, placing himself between the admiral and his friends. Go, he told Robin and Luffy. Get back to the ship. I'll handle this. But, Luffy began to protest. He's right, Robin interrupted, pulling at Luffy's arm. We need to secure this information. The crew must know our destination. Luffy hesitated, torn between helping Goku and protecting their mission. Kick his ass and catch up, he finally instructed Goku. Captain's orders. Goku grinned. You got it, Captain. As Robin dragged a reluctant Luffy toward the emergency exit, Ryukyu observed the exchange with amused interest. Noble, but pointless, the Admiral remarked. CP0 agents are already converging on your ship. Your crew will be in custody within the hour. You don't know my friends very well, Goku replied confidently. They're tougher than they look. Helios used the distraction to activate another defense system, this one creating a barrier between the Admiral and the escaping pirates. Annoying old man, Ryukyu sighed, extending plant tendrils that wrapped around the professor's body. Immediately, Helios began to wither as his energy was drained. Stop! Goku commanded, his aura flaring. The Admiral regarded him with clinical interest. Ah, the dimensional anomaly himself. I've been studying the data on your abilities. Impressive, though incomplete. Let him go, Goku demanded. Your fight is with me. Is it a fight you want? Ryukyu questioned, releasing the professor, who collapsed to the floor, weakened but alive. I was rather hoping for a civilized conversation. The 5 elders have questions about your world. I'd be happy to tell them about it, Goku replied evenly. But I don't respond well to threats against innocent people. The Admiral chuckled. The professor is hardly innocent. Researching forbidden knowledge, consorting with pirates, his crimes would earn him impelled down under normal circumstances. Knowledge shouldn't be forbidden, Goku stated firmly. Where I come from, people are free to learn whatever they want. A chaotic system, then, Ryukyu surmised. No wonder you aligned with pirates so quickly. Without warning, plant tendrils shot toward Goku with incredible speed. Rather than dodging, he stood his ground, gathering ki into a protective barrier that incinerated the plants on contact. The Admiral raised an eyebrow, impressed. The reports mentioned your energy manipulation, but not its versatility. I've been doing this a long time, Goku replied. And I'm still not at full strength in your world. So the data suggested, Ryakuji nodded. Which makes me wonder, what would full strength look like? The question seemed born of genuine scientific curiosity rather than tactical assessment. I'd be happy to show you, Goku offered. But not here. Too many innocent people could get hurt. The Admiral studied him for a moment, then made a decision. A reasonable concern. Very well, I propose a temporary truce. You accompany me willingly to a secure location for assessment, and I order my forces to withdraw from your pirate friends. And the professor? Goku pressed. Will face standard justice, but not the extraordinary measures reserved for those who resist an admiral. Goku considered the offer. It was almost certainly a trap, but it might buy the Straw Hats time to escape with the vital information. And he was confident in his ability to escape whatever containment they planned, especially with his power continuing to return. What guarantee do I have that you'll keep your word about my friends? He asked. Ryakuji touched his admiral insignia. My rank is not given to those who break their word, anomaly. Honor still means something in the Marines. After a moment's consideration, Goku nodded. All right. I'll come with you, to talk, not to be experimented on. And my name is Goku, not Anomaly. Goku, then, the Admiral acknowledged with a slight bow. I am Admiral Aramaki, though Ryakuji is the title most use. He touched a communication device on his wrist. All units withdraw from Straw Hat pursuit. I've secured the primary target. Goku moved to the professor's side, helping the weakened man to a chair. Will you be okay? Helios nodded weakly. They won't kill me. I'm too valuable. But you, be careful. The world government fears what it cannot control. Story of my life, Goku smiled reassuringly. Don't worry about me. As he straightened, Goku extended his senses toward the harbor, relieved to detect the Straw Hat's energy signatures moving rapidly away from the island. Luffy and Robin had made it back to the ship. They're gone, Ryakuji noted, following Goku's gaze. You can sense them from this distance. Impressive. Better than most observation hockey users. Key sensing, Goku explained. Different principle, similar result. The Admiral gestured toward the door. Shall we? My ship awaits. As Goku followed Ryakuji through the streets of Romance Dawn Island, citizens scattered before the Admiral's approach. Marine forces fell into formation around them, maintaining a respectful distance from both their commander and his unusual captive. I'm curious, the Admiral remarked conversationally. Your power is evident, yet you allied with pirates rather than approaching the world government directly. Why? The first people I met in this world were the Straw Hats, Goku replied honestly. They helped me when I was at my weakest. As for governments, let's just say I've had mixed experiences with authorities trying to control things they don't understand. Ryakuji chuckled. Fair assessment. Though I assure you, the 5 elders are wiser than most leaders you've encountered. Maybe, Goku allowed. But wisdom and control don't always go together. They reached the harbor where an imposing marine vessel awaited. Unlike the battleships from the blockade, this ship featured more streamlined design and advanced technology. Scientific equipment was visible on the deck, alongside what appeared to be containment systems. Welcome to the Absolute, Ryakuji announced. The Marine's premier research vessel. As they boarded, Goku noted the ship's crew, a mixture of standard Marines and white-coated scientists who regarded him with poorly concealed fascination. Your accommodation is prepared, the Admiral informed him, leading the way below decks. Comfortable, if secure. The accommodation was clearly a cell, albeit a sophisticated one. Energy fields hummed along its transparent walls, and monitoring systems tracked everything within. "Let me guess," Goku observed dryly. "These fields are calibrated based on the data from the tracking device." "Partially," Ryukujiu confirmed without embarrassment. "Though we've made adjustments based on your performance against Vice Admiral Tokihara." Goku stepped inside willingly, immediately feeling the energy fields attempt to suppress his ki. They were more effective than previous attempts, but still based on incomplete understanding of his abilities. "How long until we reach whatever secure location you mentioned?" he asked. 3 days to Marineford, the Admiral replied. "The 5 elders themselves wish to meet you." "Looking forward to it," Goku replied with genuine curiosity. Leaders powerful enough to command someone of Ryukujiu's caliber must be formidable in their own right. As the Admiral departed, Goku settled into a meditative pose in the center of his cell. The containment fields were actually providing an interesting training opportunity, forcing him to refine his energy control against consistent resistance. He closed his eyes, focusing inward. The confrontation ahead would likely be challenging, but he felt strangely optimistic. In his time with the Straw Hats, he'd adapted more quickly than expected to this world's energy systems. His power was returning steadily, and his understanding of Haki was growing daily. More importantly, Robin had secured the information about the convergence point, a potential way home. Knowing Luffy and the crew, they'd be heading there with or without him. All he needed to do was rejoin them when the time was right. And that meant something went wrong with this response. Please try again. Continue the story in the next chapter. The end. Thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and like this video.